This video covers the period from beginning of May until the summer solstice, which is the main growing period. We start off with 3 days of rain, and as you can see, the channels that were dug out last year are coming into use, and although it's not quite finished, on this video it's now completed. We had a good 3 days of rain. It wasn't torrential rain, it was just solid, and it did the land a lot of good. You can see this trench, which I had to dig very rapidly as the rain came on, and since then I've been able to put a proper channel in. Now all the water is diverted onto the fields through the channels rather than into the deposito. So the deposito now is for clean water. As you can see here, the channels down the road are doing their bit of diverting the water onto the fields. This time of year it's not too hot, and overnight the temperatures are still less than 10 degrees. There is some growth, but not a great deal, but it rapidly changes. Here we are going back up to the house, and again you can see the channels working to divert the water away from the road again. We've got the water butt, and you can see the water coming off the roof. Now we're into June, beginning of June. I've managed to complete the bench, which I said in the previous video, and it really works well because it's in a sheltered position away from the sun, and you've got a magnificent view over the terrace and the mountains behind. It's a very, very tranquil place just to spend half an hour or so. What I'd like to do is make a little garden around the bench and use this as a pathway going back towards the hay house, and everything to the left of that would then be a nice little garden. Moving now up to the house, you can see the kale, which has now gone to seed. In that plant pot there's 3 or 4 little almond trees rather, and some broad beans. I've just recently bought some tomato plants. Here is some courgettes that I grew from seed, repotted and just waiting to put them in the planters. In that planter there's a ginger. Those are 2 tomatoes, 3 tomatoes, 5 tomatoes. Some more, and this is a honeysuckle, which I'm hoping will arch over to this one on the right hand side of the gate. The buddleia, not yet out, and here you have the new planters. On the left hand side you've got the first of the potatoes. We're now into the summer solstice, and you can see that things have grown. On the right you've got the tomatoes now in that planter. This is rocket that's gone to seed. Tomatoes there, different varieties. We've now taken the first batch of potatoes. In this first planter I've got leeks and carrots. In that planter I've got onions, courgettes and aubergines together with peppers. And here are the berry bushes along the trench. Hopefully that will help stabilise the trench. Here's the herbs, starting with mint, then another mint behind it, then oregano. In the planter you've got onions, peppers, lettuce, courgettes and aubergines. Tomatoes growing up the framework. Unfortunately I've had some animals or birds nicking the tomatoes, but not to worry. Broad beans and another batch of potatoes. On the left hand side you've got the bay, which is working well. In this planter you have the leeks and carrots together with 4 little melon plants, just to experiment. Going up the banking now, you can see in the distance, and I'll zoom in, you can see the water tanks. These were the ones that were at the back of the house, and we've moved them all bar one, so I've now got 7 water tanks up on the mountain. On the first terrace, more berry bushes. All have taken, and I'm just now waiting for them to really get established and start to grow. You can see on this bush it has got berries, and you got to be quick to eat them before the birds. Most get to the birds though. Red currants. Moving along the terrace, we now have the cherry trees, which have again all taken. Starting to put some growth on. I'm hoping by the end of summer these will be properly established, and we'll be able to prune them a little. Ready for winter. On this side we've got last year's prunings, which are now cut up, and they're ready for firewood rather than burning in the field. Walking back up the driveway, everything's now starting to grow. This is the final water tank that's now been moved. tomatoes coming along. Little Jack with a new haircut. There you can see some basil. I moved the kiwi plant because that wasn't doing well in direct sunlight, but it's now doing a lot better. You can see the buddleia is now flowered and the archway is forming. So that takes us mostly through the growing season. A lot of experimentation, and finally a wasp building its nest.